I guess I'll just wing it. Thank you so much. Convo was really a role model for me. Again, roots are important. Without roots, you can't have a structure, you can't have growth. And my family is my roots, and the deaf community are my roots from which I will grow from. Your support is so key to my future and our future. And explaining why people should invest in the deaf community is because it benefits all of us. And I don't just reflect me and my values, but us and our values. And that's my goal, is to invest in our community. I'll start off by explaining my vision of the ecosystem. Basically, I realized that there were deaf-owned companies throughout the country, and that if I invested in them, it came back to me tenfold. And if I invested in other companies that weren't deaf-owned, it wouldn't ever come back to me or our community. And I realized, why would we invest in other companies that don't understand our culture, that don't understand our language, when we have deaf-owned companies that provide the same exact services? So I was thinking about what the next step was, and I thought about creating an ecosystem, because I knew our community was greater than we had currently believed it to be. And once I got started, I realized there was a lot more work to do, and there was a lot more deaf-owned companies out there that were unheard of. So I decided to sell t-shirts through a deaf-owned company. That company takes 10% of their profit that they earn on the t-shirts and gives it to the Lead K program, which emphasizes ASL rights within the educational system throughout the country, making sure that kids start with a foundation of learning American Sign Language and can become bilingual after they have their roots in American Sign Language. Also, I've invested in Convo, who also believes and supports this ecosystem model. They have also supported and invested in me, and also Buy Mara Clothes, which is a deaf-owned and operated company. The caterer is also, Atab, is also deaf-owned and operated. Because if we invest in them, they will invest in us. And not only that, but you saw in the video, there was Tate Tullier and Kaya, who are both deaf photographers based in New York City, and also clothes featured by Mara. So I believe in the ecosystem, and I want you to believe in the ecosystem too. As Wayne said, I'm trying to take this spotlight and reflect it back on the deaf community. And I'm sure you think this has been a big year for the deaf community, right? We have America's Next Top Model, we have Spring Awakening, Switched at Birth, that's been around for a while, but it's still going on. What other deaf event has happened? Spring Awakening, it's huge for our community. There's been tons of articles and video spotlights on our community. And it's been such an exciting time, and this is our year. But I believe with this partnership, we can make next year even bigger than this year. I think we're moving on to bigger and better things. Thank you so much for coming this evening. It's so inspiring to see all 800 or 1,000 of you here. I look forward to more events like this in the future. Love to you all.
Again, Convo, this is not a one-night event.